would you agree that the event that you've described, this protest, was in your experience unprecedented?
Yes.
Yes.
As to its scale? Yes?
Yes.
As to the demeanor of the protesters?
Yes.
And equally as to the police response. There was a larger police response to this protest or occupation than you had seen ever before.
I would say at the end of the occupation, there was a larger police presence than before. I would say that from my vantage point where my office was and where I'm located, that the police presence throughout didn't appear to be much larger to me visually compared to other events.
Right? Over a longer duration, obviously.
Yes.
You agree?
I would
Carey?
agree with what Kevin said, yes.
Okay.
In the beginning, not so much, but near the end, definitely more.
Understood. Now, in respect of the things, and my colleague from the police service just asked you this, but just so I understand it and for the commissioner's purposes, neither of you is suggesting that you have better insight into the community of security intelligence or police intelligence than have police agencies.
Correct?
No, correct.
Okay. And you would, I want to come to the meetings, if I can, that you had with police, and you've had your police liaison officers in the community with whom you've spoken, both of you, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And in that respect, you had the same or perhaps better access to police than you have had in other protests. Would that be true?
I would say that the call initiated by Matt Fleury's and in his office allowed us to have a daily conversation with community officer or occasionally somebody slightly higher in rank. I would say that throughout that we didn't receive any additional insight or information more than what was being released in press releases during that time.
Daily, just stopping there, you had daily contact with police?
Almost daily, as long as they weren't being pulled into some other action or meeting. Yeah.
And which, if they were, you understood. Why?
Completely.
Ms. Carey, you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
And Mr. McHale, a couple of things. You told us, I think, that you had met with Chief Slowly, or he attended these calls on one or you thought two occasions, correct?
Yeah, again, we held about 30 some of these calls, so I can't remember all, but I would absolutely state that he was on at least one call.
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
And you thought perhaps two, probably two?
Possibly two, and again, I apologize.
Okay.
We had a lot of them.
Ms. Carrier?
I only recall one.
Okay. And you both gave statements to of your anticipated evidence. You were interviewed by our friends for the commission, correct?
Correct?
Yes.
And did you read those statements before you came here today?
I'm sorry, Mr. Commissioner, again.
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
I understand the issue. Did you read them before you came here today?
No. I have not.
No.
Okay. At the time you gave the information to the commission, you did your best to provide information that was accurate and complete, correct?
Correct?
To my knowledge, yes.
And you knew it was important.
Yes.
You knew, for example, that it was going to be disclosed to, among other people, the lawyers and parties who were here today, correct?
Correct?
Yep.
Mr. Commissioner, there's one issue I wish to raise that concerns the rule about the use of these statements, and it specifically concerns the suggestion that Chief Slowly made a statement that one of the witnesses, Ms. Carrier, referred to. May I simply ask the witness to confirm that the statement that she provided to you was not found anywhere in her statement?
I think you can go ahead and ask whether or not that's she's made that statement before. But
Thank you.
I don't think you can cross-examine on that statement, unfortunately. It was not put into evidence, and we don't know the circumstances in which that was done, et cetera. But I'll give you some latitude.
Thank you very much. Ms. Carrier, prior to your saying that Chief Slowly told you on a call that he was scared, am I correct that you didn't say that before to anyone?
To the commission?
Yes.
I've said it several times, yes, but not to the, perhaps I didn't say it the day of the commission interview.
Well, do you accept from me that the statement of your anticipated evidence doesn't refer anywhere to a statement?
Wait a minute, I don't think that's correct.
Okay.
This is
All right.
not a statement of anticipated evidence. I think that's been made clear.
Okay.
And I think that's going beyond what I allow.
All right, thank you. So then, Mr. Commissioner, because it's important, I'll simply say this, Ms. Carrier. Isn't it true that what Chief Slowly said on the call was that he understood why people in the community, including presumably from the BIA, were frightened in respect of what they were observing and experiencing? But at no time did Chief Slowly say that he was scared or frightened personally. Would that be fair to him?
No, I
Right.
think he said, I think it was definitely in the intention that you were saying. I don't think that he was like, I'm terrified and I don't know what I'm doing. That's not what I'm implying. What I'm implying is that he was very candid with us. We had gone through a very difficult weekend. He was very candid with us, and he, I think, was relating that he too was scared. There were things that were happening that, there was a lot going on.
But that was not something that you have said previously.
I have said that several times previously, but not to the commission.
Okay. And
And-
can you tell me, please, Ms. Carrier, on what date did that meeting take place?
To my recollection, I don't recall. I believe it was the Tuesday after the 1st.
But you don't
So the
recall?
1st or 2nd of February, I would assume.
Right? You would assume. Can you tell us what else the chief described? Any specifics that he described?
He described
matter
a very
here.
fluid moving protest and occupation. He described what he had said a lot in the press conference, that there were lack of resources, that this was something that was evolving by the minute, that this was unprecedented. I want to say I have tremendous respect at that time for Chief Slowly, and I believe, I don't know what his intentions were, but I believe in that moment, it was fluid.
Right. Can I just leave it on this basis? Because, of course, you can imagine that your statement that he said
Right.
that he was personally scared is going to, I just have to tell you, he's going to say he didn't say that.
Right.
That instead he was expressing why he understood people were frightened.
I would
But
concede to you that that was the intention, yes.
what I said, the
Correct.
expression of empathy.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner, and thank you to the witnesses.